What's up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and we are here today, you guys, with a brand new review for the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, you guys. Now, before we do get into this review, if you guys are watching this video or any other video on the channel and you guys aren't subscribed yet, then I need you guys to do me a solid favor and stop taking me out on this date and having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys know the routine. You can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, turning on your post notifications, guys, and also by sharing the video. And with that out of the way, without further ado, let us just go ahead and discuss the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, shall we? All right, you guys. So before I get into it, I do want to just thank everybody who left positive comments on my community tab. If you guys did not see, earlier today, I had to go to the urgent care because when I tell you guys, my back was throbbing. The pain was unbearable. So I'll just go into a short story about it. So I woke up this morning feeling fine. But then as the day went by, I went to go into my car and I had to put on some socks. And when I went to put them socks on, I could not get back up. I was like, oh no, this ain't good. So I had to wait until like my lunch break to be able to go do anything today. So ultimately, I figured out what was wrong with me before I got to the urgent care or the emergency room. And what happened is what happened is I have a muscle spasm in my back. So that's where we are. I have a muscle spasm in my back. The doctor gave me some medication that I've gotten, so I just got to take the medication. But other than that, your boy is good and we're fine. So we are here today, you guys. But yeah, that's what happened. I know what the general consensus of what happened is. I haven't slept for the last 2 nights. I didn't sleep well on Tuesday night, and I didn't sleep well last night. Right, Tuesday night I didn't sleep well because I just didn't sleep well. I wasn't antsy or anything, but I didn't watch the polls, so I didn't know what happened until Wednesday morning. And I think that's probably why I tossed and turned a little bit. And yeah, you guys, but we're here. We gonna make it through. We ain't protesting nothing. We ain't protesting. We ain't marching. We ain't doing none of that stuff. My people, that is. We ain't doing none of that shit. It's a wrap for us. Oh, you guys, let me give you guys a little bit of breaking news on my channel. So it says, according to Us Weekly, The Real Housewives of Dubai has been put on pause after season 2. So I kind of saw that one coming. Let me know what you guys think about it. I actually feel bad for the girls because I was kind of hoping they would get a season 3, but yikes. But them numbers for Dubai were not good. So I'm wondering if the numbers for Dubai were not good, then what the heck is going to happen for Roni, because their numbers are just as bad as well. They may end up pausing Roni. Oh, that's sad. Tough. That's really sad. Mm, yikes. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into this episode, you guys. So since it's pretty late at night, I'm not gonna try to stay on here too long with this review. I'm gonna do it and then we will get off of here. But if you guys did watch the episode, please, like I said in the comments and in the live chat, let me know what you guys thought about this episode of Salt Lake City. What I will say is I enjoyed the episode. I enjoyed the episode. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. Hold on, you guys. Where do we want to start up with this? Actually, I know where we'll start up with this episode. We'll start up with. Let me get to my notes. Actually, we only had two people in this episode that we really focused on, and that was Lisa and Bronwyn. So we'll start up with Lisa, and then we'll work our way down to Bronwyn So let's get Lisa Barlow on the screen. So, Lisa, we see Lisa in this episode. And if I didn't tell you guys what the name of what this episode is, this is Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. This is season 5, episode 8. Episode is titled the Desert and the Deserted. So we open up the episode. Well, we I think we open up the episode with Lisa, right? So Lisa is having a spa day, and she's going to the spa with both Meredith and with Heather. Now we see a flashback scene where she was having a conversation with Heather, and Heather was trying to tell her about what happened with Bronwyn. So Lisa invited Heather to come meet up with she and Meredith, right? And Lisa, Meredith, and Heather, they sit down and talk, right? So Meredith let Heather and know that she's going to be having a bat mitzvah. And Heather's like, well, I hope I'm invited. And she's like, well, I wouldn't tell you if you weren't invited. And so then Heather has to tell both Lisa and Meredith about her conversation with Bronwyn. Girl, I think you are putting 20 on 10 when it comes to this conversation with Bronwyn. Anybody with common sense would know. She invited you over to her home, right? Her inviting you over to her home wasn't more so to say, okay, you need to apologize to me or you can't come on my trip. What Bronwyn was trying to do with you, you diphthong, she was trying to talk to you person to person, woman to woman, be like, you know what, Heather, you and I, it appears we may have gotten off on the wrong foot with one another, right? And I just want to make things right. I would like to apologize to you for the things that I've said, the things that has happened and transpired with us. And I would also like it if you would apologize to me for the things that you've done to me because you've judged me. And I think it's an unfair judgment. But no, Heather takes that, flips it, and makes it all about Heather. And it's like girl, ugh. Like I really can't this season I really can't stand Heather, and Heather is actually 100% getting on my nerves, right? So then Lisa says, well, I have an issue with Bronwyn too, because Bronwyn called me and asked me, like, do you think Justin and John are going to be okay with each other? Lisa, you're delusional. You're absolutely delusional. Your husband and Justin just got into it with each other at Angie's anniversary party. So it's not wrong for that woman to think, okay, is it okay for me to invite both Justin and John when she doesn't even know if they had a conversation with each other to iron things out? So she doesn't want any drama or any fighting or bickering on her trip. But here Lisa goes making it about herself. I'm like, girl, you are so delusional. John is a businessman, so he would never do anything like that. Girl, that same man that you're talking about went up to Justin at another person's party with a room full of people to try to check him. So if he'll do it in front of a room full of people, do you think he would do on a small, intimate couples trip? Lisa, shut up. Shut up, okay? That's all I want you to do is just put the up to the shut. So then Meredith is talking about her issue that she now has with Sean. Now, she just brought this up, but I'm not even gonna be mad at Meredith because Meredith is mad because I guess Sean must have went on the podcast or something and said something about Brooks and the fact that Meredith uses Brooks as as some a way to deflect from things. I was like, oh wow, okay. And we'll be honest with each other. When it comes to Meredith, I'm not upset with Meredith, and I don't think that Meredith is in the wrong to have any type of feelings towards what's his name? What's our boy's name? Sean. She's right to feel how she feels. But both Heather and both Lisa, y'all are delusional as hell. Y'all are putting 20 on 10. Lisa, Bronwyn asked you a very valid question. Heather, Bronwyn brought you over to break the ice with you. Sit down and shut up. That's all I gotta say. Oh, they got on my. They really both of those two got on my nerves. So then let's move on over to Bronwyn, and Bronwyn's is gonna close out the episode. Well, out the review for me. So we see Bronwyn. So Bronwyn called Todd up. So Todd was in Korea, and Bronwyn was asking Todd, like, are you ready for this trip? Todd is like, not really looking forward to it. Todd's whole thing is when he goes on this trip, he doesn't want any drama. He just wants it to be peaceful. I was like, well, Todd, it's a bunch of housewives coming, so I don't know how peaceful your trip is gonna be. It would have been peaceful if it was just you and your wife, but your wife decided to include this show in her check. So be prepared for some mess to occur, and be prepared for some mess to occur with Lisa Barlow. So we also found out, we already know that Heather's not coming, but we also found out that Mary, unfortunately, is not going to be coming because Mary is going to be spending time with her son. Girl, I hope it was taking him to rehab. That is what I will say, Mary. I hope your time was spent taking that young man to rehab because he desperately needs help. He desperately needs help. So we see as they're going to be going to, is it Palm Springs on a private jet, right? What I think is kind of funny to me is the fact that both Lisa and Meredith are defending Heather. And it's like, y'all have never been the biggest fans of Heather. So I don't know how y'all can defend Heather, but you know what? If that's what y'all want to do, go ahead and do it. It don't make sense to me, but whatever. Especially you, Lisa. You and Heather have been on this merry-go-round of friend of me to friend since season one when you called her a good time girl. Like I will not, I won't forget that. But you know what? If they like it, I love it. Where I do have a little bit of a problem with Lisa is you come on this season saying that you and Bronwyn have been friends for years, right? And it here's the thing: you and Heather have known of each other since college. I'll give you guys that. But if this is somebody that's supposed to be your friend, when it comes to people that my friends, I don't ever take, what people say at face value, especially if that's not the person that I know. What I will say, because if you say, "Oh, your friend this, your friend that," da 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 da, da, I'm like, well, I'm sorry that you have experienced that with that person. Kind of like what no, what Bronwyn said to Lisa not Lisa, but Whitney last week, right? It's like, I'm sorry that that's been your experience with them, but that's not been my experience. I've always had great positive experiences with my friend. And, maybe you guys can sit down, talk, and come to some kind of come to Jesus moment with each other. But again, that's not the friend that I've known for umpteenth amount of years. But Lisa didn't do that, right? So we see as they make it to the house that they're staying at is absolutely nice, right? Seth is going through the house looking for a bathtub for Meredith. Now, here's the thing. I'm not going to sit here and act like I don't take a bath every now and again, right? Because I do. There are moments where I be like, you know what? I don't want to stand up in my shower. I would prefer to just sit and let the hot water just consume my body, right? But I don't do it all the time. And I'm not like somebody that's just fixated on the bathtub. I'm really not fixated on the bathtub. Definitely not, right? So Seth is looking for a room with a bathtub. Don't think he found one. I did find it kind of odd how they separated themselves, right? So you see Angie and Whitney with each other, and Lisa and Meredith off by themselves, right? And not really interacting with Bronwyn, who is the host of this trip. But okay. Then we see as Todd brought Ajula over. Man, I would love to be that rich one day where I can call somebody over to the house and they bring $1.4 million worth of jewelry. Actually, those are earrings. Would I spend that amount of money for some earrings? Absolutely, not. Would not. Would not spend that amount of amounts of money on them, but it would just be nice to have that. Then you have Angie, 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 Angie. I'm happy that you proud to be a Greek and all that stuff. But girl, that seems like it's your only true identity, right? Like my whole identity is not being black, and my whole identity is not being a black man, but it is a part of who I am. I don't talk about it every two because everything on this season has been Greek this, Greek that, Greek, 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 Greek. It's like Greek, 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 Greek. I can't with her. What's up, D? How are you doing tonight? You said not you trying to blow up my notification late in the midnight hour. Yeah, it is. What time is it there with you? Where are you? Are you uh, you're on the East Coast, I know that. So it's what, almost 11 o'clock? Yeah. It's like, well, I didn't intend for this to go. I didn't intend to have a late live. Only reason why I'm having a late live is because I had to go to the emergency room earlier because of a dang on muscle spasm that I have. Oh God. I'm gonna you know what? I just cleaned up my social media. After this, you know what? Starting tonight, we ain't watching no more news. That's where we're gonna be at. We're not watching the news after tonight. I'm making that conscious decision. But yeah, it wasn't intentional. This was not intentional. I actually wanted to go live earlier today, like I normally do, but I my back said otherwise, so I had to do what my back said. You stay coming for the Grecian goddess. Haters never prosper. Wait, you like Angie? Oh God. And let me say this. I don't it's not that I dislike Angie or anything, but oh, it's not that I dislike Angie. What I will say about Angie is I think Angie is a try hard. I just think she's a try hard. I want to like Angie, but she's a try hard for me. And again, like I said, I get that she's Greek, but my God, is that all you have to talk about? Can you talk about anything else? Anything else? You know what? Let me not complain. Let me not complain, right? Because it could be far worse. I could be talking about the Real Housewives of New York City, which I did not watch that. Don't intend to watch it at this point. Tuesday night was not a good night for me, and neither was Wednesday night. So Real Housewives of New York City, forget it. We ain't doing it. Damn, I'm kind of bummed that they put a pause on Dubai because that was actually good. Damn. Mm, mm, mm. Oh, I wonder how Chanel feels because girl, you was all upstand beers behind, and now y'all done got put on pause. Well, at least you got one more check coming. You got the traders coming, so that's gonna be your probably your last reality check for a while. Because I don't, yeah, Dubai's on. Oh, never mind. Let's move on. So we see Lisa and Meredith. They're outside by the pool, right? So they're talking, and then Seth comes out to let Meredith know that he's going to be leaving the next day to go to Ohio, and it's a Saturday, so he's going to be leaving on a Sunday. I was like, wow. And I was thinking to myself, like, season 1 and 2, you and Meredith had issues in your marriage because of your job. Y'all almost divorced, sir. You might want to sit still if you want to keep your marriage, because Meredith was not happy. And honestly, I'm not even upset that Meredith wasn't happy because I would be pissed too. Like this is a couples trip, and you gonna leave me here to go do some work stuff? No, sir. We ain't playing that game. We are not doing that over here. There go that heavy foot person upstairs. Yeah, we're not playing that game, sir. So what I will say is when it comes to the housewife husbands, I do like seeing the guys together because I love them being able to just get along with each other because the guys play cornhole. They play cornhole and I was here for it. And not a fight in sight. D says, "Don't let the national foolery get you physically caught up, sir." No, it wasn't that it got me caught up. It was the fact that I just couldn't sleep. I don't know if it was that. I know it was, some of it was that, but I just couldn't sleep for the last 2 nights. Hopefully tonight I can sleep. But yeah, I'm not letting it letting it get me caught up. At this point, I done kind of calmed down. I'm moving forward. I do have a plan of action over the next year, and I can go ahead and tell you guys what I plan on doing. So you guys know that I have been talking about I want to build a house. I'm going to do that, but then I'm also going to look into dual citizenship. That is something that I'm thinking about doing, is dual citizenship, and probably going to live in Mexico, probably Cancun or Cabo for the remainder of his term. I don't have too much. I don't have too many plans of living in the U.S. past 2025. I will be gone from, if it goes the way that I want it to go, be gone from 26, 27, 28, and come back home once his term is over. If his term is over, if he doesn't undermine the Constitution, that is all I will say. But D says, please take a breather. Yeah, because they're definitely trying to raise blood pressure out in these ignorant streets. They are, and they're not going to raise mine. They're not raising mine. D also says Dubai was entertaining, but Bravo sank them by waiting almost 2 years to air the second season after shooting it. Not to mention the whack marketing as well. Yeah, the marketing is never good for for certain shows, and I don't know why. D also says Seth and those eyebrows in the confessional. You know, I was looking at some of them men in their confession. I was like, wow. Speaking of the men, I want to know why did what is Angie's husband name? Sean. So them shorts, them pants that you had on, them pants were way too tight. I don't know how you was able to move around in them pants. But yeah, Seth and them eyebrows. No. Um. So where are we now? So we talked about Meredith being upset. We talked about the guys how they were getting along, but at the pool, so it's a big pool. So there's the so Whitney, Angie, and Bronwyn are on one end, and Meredith and Lisa are on the other end. Now, what I will say, D, is I did have so much respect for Angie when Angie decided to take it upon herself to go and get now. Anybody now? Let me know in the comment section or in the live. Has anybody ever tried Vita Tequila? Because I've heard people have mixed reviews about Vita Tequila. I've heard people, some people say it's good. I've heard some people say it's nasty. If you guys have ever drank Vita Tequila, let me know. Let me take a look. I'm actually about to look up Vita Tequila. Not that I'm gonna purchase it ever, because I think she supports that man whose name I will never say. I believe she supports him, and I have no intentions of lining anybody's pockets who supports that man. Vita Tequila. Oh, she got a Reposado, $64. A Vita Blanco, $59. Okay. Again, will I buy it? Probably not. Probably not. But again, if y'all have tried it, let me know in the comment section or in live. So we see as the girls are sitting down talking, right? And Lisa decided to bring up Heather. I was like, why are we talking about Heather? Heather is not here. Heather chose not to come. So let's leave Heather in Salt Lake City. But okay, y'all want to talk about Heather. D says, I like Angie more than I did the past seasons. Honestly, I'm just trolling a little bit because I know you like to give her the business. Plus, I'm way more irritated with the people she's beefing with. Yeah. Now, what I will say about Angie is I did not watch her season 3, so I don't know how she was as a friend of. I didn't dislike her last season. I didn't dislike her. I was just tired of her and Monica going back and forth, but there was more so on Monica. This season, she's not really bothering me that much. It's just the it's really more so just the Greek stuff. I'm like, girl, we know you're Greek. We know you're Greek. We know you're Greek. We get it, right? Now, I will agree with you. The people that she is beefing, the people she's beefing with, yeah, Lisa, don't see it for Lisa Barlow. Heather, don't really see it for Heather. Definitely don't see it for Heather. You know what? It's so funny when you think about Real Housewives of Salt Lake City season one, right? It's kind of like with Real Housewives of Potomac seasons 1 through 2. Season 1 through 2, actually seasons 1 through 3 of Potomac, I liked Giselle and Robin. After season 3, when we got to four and on, I couldn't stand those two. Season 1 and 2 of Salt Lake City, I like Whitney and Heather. It's flipped. Can't stand either one of them at this point, right? So they're talking about Heather and how they wish Heather was there and all this kind of stuff. And Whitney said, well, Bronwyn tried to move past things with her. And Lisa's like, well, that's not what she told us. I was like, that's not what she told you. But did you also say, well, that's not the friend that I know? And then also going to talk to your friend and ask your friend what happened when you and Heather sat down with each other? No, you didn't do that. You took Heather's side. Like I said earlier, I still don't know why you took Heather's side because you and Heather have not been on the same page with each other since season one. Y'all ain't never really saw for each other. But okay, good time girl. You want to be friends with the good time girl. You and Heather are the same person. Heather wants to be part of the in crowd, and that's what gets on my nerves when it comes to Heather. Ugh. D said, I would say give us a good old taste test. Mm-mm, absolutely not. But I almost forgot about the bottle of BS. Plus, even if that wasn't the case, the way Lisa acts a whole donkey on the show keeps me from giving out $9 exactly. Mm-mm, baby, I will not line that lady's pockets because, like I said, if I'm not mistaken, I do believe she supports that. She supports that man because I feel like people brought that stuff up, but I can't remember. Orange Blossom, how are you doing tonight? You said it's the opposite for me, LOL. I didn't like Heather season 1 through 3, but after she gave up the Bad Mormon act, she was clocking people's teeth. Not gonna lie, I'll give you that part. I will give you the last part. I'm not even gonna hold it. I'm not even gonna hold you on that one. She does. She clocked Monica last season, right? I wasn't mad at it. Absolutely wasn't mad at her clocking Monica. Where Heather lost me at, and like I said, it's what I said last week. Where a lot of them lost me at was Jenny Wynn. We can say whatever we want to say about Mary Cosby, right? I've said it plenty of times before in my reviews from season 1 to season 2 to even last season. Mary Cosby is problematic in her own right. We're never going to take away the fact that Mary Cosby is problematic. But for them, season 2 to decide to try to take Mary down as opposed to Jen Shaw, who was a criminal, that's where they lost me. Then on top of that, the stuff with Jenny Wynn, they were going to film season 3 with Jenny. The whole cast was coming back with the exception of Mary season 3 because Mary did not go to the reunion. Because after they filmed the reunion, they were supposed to start filming right back after that reunion was finished filming. But because people started raising hell, that's when Bravo decided to fire Jenny. Jenny was coming back as a full-time housewife. They were already in the process of getting ready to start filming. These women were still gonna film with that woman after all that racist stuff came out about her. That's where Heather and Whitney lost me at. It was that. Again, if you guys have watched my reviews of Salt Lake City, I have said what I've said about Mary. Mary is problematic. Mary is honestly, let's be real. I think she's a self-hating black woman because I don't know too many people I don't know anybody who bleaches their skin, right? But Mary is problematic. And that was where they lost me at. Orange Blossom said, oh, absolutely. I was Team Mary season 2. I agree. And I'm loving her season 2. I absolutely am. It is so crazy. I am loving Mary Cosby. I'm loving that Mary has gotten out of that tacky ass closet and is actually participating with the girls. But I mean, I definitely will give you that. Heather will clock the girls. She really will, and I'll give her that. But Heather needs to clock herself at the same time as well. You're fake as hell. The same things that you were saying about Bronwyn can apply to you as well, beloved. Like, let's not play. Let's call a spade, Heather. So the girls called Heather up. Now, I was with Bronwyn. Like, this is my trip. Y'all calling up the girl who didn't come on the trip, telling her you miss her. Where they do that at? Baby, I would have told all them heifers to leave my house, leave his house. Y'all can, if y'all miss her that much, go back to Salt Lake City and be with her. You don't have to be here. But Bronwyn was cooler than I was. Now Bronwyn did tell Lisa that she felt it was shady, right? And she's also telling Lisa how, you had, well, Lisa's like, well, I had a conversation with Heather, and Heather was saying this. But again, Bronwyn said, but did you call me? Did you check on me? Did you ask me anything? And then Lisa flips and says, well, you didn't check on me after Whitney lied on me. And Bronwyn said, hold up, girl, pump the brakes. I came up to you right afterwards to check on you, and Bravo showed that footage of her doing that. She also said that before I left, I made sure that you and John were good. Now they didn't show that. They didn't show that part, but okay. But I still believe Bronwyn over Lisa any day. D says being an Asian, yep. I'm not gonna say that word, but being an Asian and a is wild. That's exactly why. Whoo, mm, um, that part right there is where I'm really standing at this point. I tweeted. Would you follow me on Twitter? I've been tweeting this. At this point, that whole POC thing, we need to just get rid of it. It doesn't exist. It only exists when they want, and this is no offense. I don't, I know that there are some good people of color. I know that there are some good Asian people out there. I know that there are some good Latina people out there. I know that there are some good white women, white men out there. I know that they're not a part of the people of color. I know there are some good, I know that there are some good people out there, right? And I'm not saying that they're not, but what we saw Tuesday shows that we as black people, and this is again, no, I don't, y'all can take this how y'all want to feel, but it just shows us that we are fighting a fight by ourselves and we're alone in this world because that election shows that nobody has our back. It just shows that. And if you guys feel a way about it, then please unsubscribe. I won't feel no type of way, but I'm a black, like I was just making a joke about Angie, but at the end of the day, I can't change. She can't change being Greek no more than I can change being a black man, and I'm going to always have to stand up for my people and what affects us. And the outcome of this election is going to adversely affect my people. And I'm sorry if you feel a way about that. I don't care. I really truly don't care. I said what I said. Orange Blossom said, I didn't miss Heather as well on the trip. Not sure why they called her. If anything, not you, Miss Mary and Brittany. You know what? Orange Blossom, you making some points tonight. I did miss Mary. I will say that I did miss Mary. I actually will give it to you about Brittany. I missed that delusional fool this episode. I missed that delusional fool. Cause I ain't never saw somebody so delusional in my life behind a man that is playing in your damn face. Girl. Oh, let me go back to D's comment. I'm so sorry, D. I read your comment, but I went off on a tangent. But I want to read the last part. It says that's exactly why POC solidarity is a fable, fairy tale, and fallacy with the red flags. A freaking man. You say if Heather continued to clock T and be quirky and silly, then she would be just fine. Absolutely. But trying to do the whole forced one-sided takedown of Bronwyn is weird and desperate AF. I agree. Because because was Bronwyn here's the thing. I kind of have to give Heather like a half of a point because Bronwyn, yes, she did go back and tell Whitney what she said, but she didn't tell Whitney what she said in the way that she said it. She kind of changed it up just a little bit, right? But she was honest with Whitney. I will give Bronwyn that she was honest with Whitney. But Heather, you do the same thing. You talk like you literally in last week's episode, you talked about the woman's house in her interview in your interview, but in her face, you're talking about how the house is beautiful. Now, girl, you knew that was a lie. I knew that was a lie coming out your mouth when you said it. So, like I said, they called Heather up on FaceTime. Bronwyn came back up and she was like, "Do I need to step away?" And she clocked Lisa them. Like, why are y'all calling her? This is my trip. I go to take a leak and y'all call her up. Well, we just missed Heather. Again, I would have said, well, if you missed the hell for that much, you can get a ticket to go back home, right? So Bronwyn and Lisa are going back and forth. Lisa is getting kind of loud, and like I said about the Whitney thing with Lisa, when Lisa's getting loud and irate, it's because she knows that she's done something wrong. It's like, girl, just be like, you know what, my bad, girl. I shouldn't have called her. This is your trip. If you don't want to see her, then my bad. I apologize. And I also apologize that you feel that I don't have your back. But it ain't no that she feel you don't have her back, girl. You do not have that woman's back because you took what Heather said for gospel. And what Heather said, I feel, was a lie. A lie. The lies, the lies, the lies. In the voice of Candy, right? So exactly. Missed it so much that you couldn't call her in front of Bronwyn's face. Exactly. You had to wait for Bronwyn to go to the bathroom to call her up. You ain't missed her that much. You ain't missed her that much. Ugh. And it's crazy because Angie was like, "Do y'all really have to call her?" I was with Angie. I was like, "No, they don't have to call her." And but they're do. But Lisa is the thing with Lisa is passive aggressive. You have a problem with Bronwyn asking you if your husband is going to be cool with Justin. Girl, she's asking a logical question. Your husband just got into it with him not only a few days ago. Girl, sit down somewhere. Please sit down. Orange Blossom says, I agree that Lisa shouldn't have called, but is it me or was Bronwyn crashing out? Hmm. Let me see if I think. No, because no, I won't say that I think she was crashing out, right? And I'll explain to you why I feel this way. Here's my thing. If me and this person are having an issue with each other, right? It's fine that y'all are cool with each other. It's fine that y'all talk to each other. It's fine that you've had a conversation with her about me and then come to me and ask me what happened. That's cool. But to call someone behind my back on a trip that I invited you on, I think that's a little. I agree with Bronwyn. That's shady. Like, and then I come back and you're trying to move the phone around so I don't see it. That's where she lost me. She was trying to move the phone because when she saw Bronwyn come back, she tried to move the phone in a way that Bronwyn couldn't see her. Like, girl, sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down. Um, he says they. I know. Oh, you're okay. Okay. You say they miss Heather so much that they conveniently took the call when Bronwyn wasn't around. Oh, yeah. Oh, you say my bad. I reposted. I'm so annoyed when YouTube displays the message. I remove. Yeah, I know. I hate when that happens when you type something and you remove it and YouTube still post. Actually, a StreamYard, they still post it anyways. But yeah, so Orange Blossom is not that I think she was crashing out. I just more so think that she was just upset that she was trying because what it was Lisa was trying to be sneaky. That's ultimately what it was. So Whitney and so actually Whitney and Bronwyn left. Bronwyn left first, and Whitney went behind her to check on her. And Orange Blossom says Lisa needs to let go of that phone. Sean and Heather are probably annoyed that she calls them till 5 a.m. Yeah, like, girl, you see, my phone at a certain time, it goes on do not disturb. So if you call my phone, text my phone, baby, I won't get it till the next morning that I wake up. I won't get it. So Whitney, and like I said, I agree with where Braun was coming from. And I actually like, as much as I don't see it for Whitney, I actually like the fact that Whitney went to go check on Bronwyn. So Whitney and Bronwyn were talking, and then Todd came in. Todd is 100% me. Let me get to D's comment and we'll talk about Todd. D says, if she started flipping out of nowhere with no justification, then maybe. But the main thing was clocking Lisa's constant hypocrisy and double dealing, which happens all the time. Fraud. Hashtag fraud at that. Yeah, that's my issue with Lisa. That is my issue with Lisa. Is that it's constant hypocrisy with her. It's not like it's just, it's not like it's a one off with her, because she's done it with every single person on this show. And then she gets mad when Whitney calls her a villain. Girl, you have been a villain. Stand in it. Own it. You've been a villain to Mary. You've been a villain to Heather. You've been a villain to Jen Shaw. As much as I don't like Jen Shaw, can't stand a woman, don't see it for the woman, ain't gonna ever see it for Jen Shaw. Lisa, I got a question for you real quick, mama. So can we go back to your Bezos party? Because you had two black women at your Bezos party, right? And then you had Mary. So there's three black women at your Bezos party. Was the reason that you had those black women at your Bezos party because of the fact that Jen Shaw called you a racist last season when she was on her way to prison? Is that why you invited those black women there? Inquiring Minds wants to know, because I haven't forgot the fact that Jen Shaw called you a racist. Now, I take it with a grain of salt because Jen Shaw's a damn liar, so I take it with a grain of salt. But I mean, I shouldn't take it with that much of a grain of salt because you were friends with Jenny Wynn, who we all know is a racist. But okay. I'm gonna get your comment in just a second, Orange Blossom. I'm gonna finish up and then we can just have a conversation. I like Todd. Todd told Braun when he was like, Braun, I told you I didn't want no drama and mess on this trip. And either we gonna tell them that they can go and we'll pay for them a ticket to get home, or Lisa's gonna stop the argument. I was like, come on, Todd. Let them know who's in charge of this trip. And he went out there and told John Barlow, either your wife stops or I want y'all to go home. I was like, amen, Todd. Come on, sir. So Orange Blossom says, Brahma called me off guard when she said Lisa called the minute she took a leak. That took me off guard too. And what really what really threw me for a loop was when Lisa was telling Bronwyn that she and Heather should work out their issues, and Bronwyn was like, "Oh, I'm supposed to work out my issues with Heather, but when it comes to you, I'm supposed to ride your dick." I was like, "Girl, come on." I like Bronwyn. I know there are some people out there who are still on the fence about Bronwyn. I'm not on the fence nowhere about Bronwyn at all. Bronwyn is my girl. I like her. It's am I gonna say it's Team Bronwyn over here? I guess I will say Team Bronwyn. I guess I will say Team Bronwyn. But I'm really Team Nobody. But if I have to pick people that I like from Salt Lake City, Bronwyn, Mary, and Bronwyn, Mary. I do like Angie, you guys. I don't dislike Angie. I just think Angie, I want to see Angie not try as hard as she has been trying the last two seasons. And I'll tell you guys why I think she's trying so hard. Going from season 3, where she actually, here's the thing, season 3, Angie and Angie, as well as Angie K I believe they all had Snowflake season 3. And I think that girl Dana was supposed to be a friend of, which she was, and they got demoted at some point in the season. So from season 4 to now, I think Angie's just trying to prove that she is deserving of this Snowflake. Girl, they gave it to you season 4 and they gave it to you this season. So you don't have to prove anything to us. But okay. Orange Blossom says Todd was so over this, he probably hasn't seen any Housewives. That is what I said earlier. It's like, Todd, sir, have you not saw Housewives? That is all that these ladies do. But I was still here for it. D says, I ain't forgot when the ladies had to keep Jen Shaw from running up and bopping Lisa upside her head when she started screaming and hollering at her in that Sprinter van. What season was that? Because I'm trying to remember. If that was season 3, I didn't watch it. No, that was season 2. I remember. I do remember it now. D says the way John paused, got quiet, and said he would let Lisa know what Todd said took me out. It did, because John was sitting there. Now, only thing I will say about that particular scene is that I just it wasn't something that was on my focal point, but I just noticed that the camera. I don't know if the cameraman was sitting down or not, but that camera was directly square in between John's legs. I was like, I hope he has underwear on, because I don't want no kind of slippage of nothing. Because you can see literally up his. I mean, you can literally see up them shorts. I was like, oh God, I hope he got underwear on. That's all I could think about was, I hope he has underwear on, because I don't want to see anything else. D says he was not willing to push back or clap back with Todd at all. He knew better. I think John Barlow knew better in that particular moment. Let's talk about something real quick when it comes to Lisa, and then we'll go ahead and get off of here, you guys. Let me know in the comment section or in the live chat, what do you guys think? Is Lisa deserving of an apology from Justin? I don't think she is. You went up to him, and then she was talking about how she saw him on the private jet and gave him the middle finger, saying your wife's a liar. So you're antagonizing him. To the least, like, here's another question I'm gonna ask. And like I said, we're gonna wrap up because we're getting pretty late here. So the question that I have is, with Lisa, because I see it on Twitter all the time where people try to make Lisa that girl. Why? Why do y'all think Lisa Barlow is that girl? Lisa's boring, in my personal opinion. I don't think there's anything iconic from Lisa. The only thing that Lisa really truly gave us was bad weather for Heather and Whitney. Other than that, I mean, even that was kind of lame. Other than that, Lisa ain't done nothing that I would say is iconic. Now, if we want to use the term iconic for Salt Lake City, that title belongs to none other than Mary Cosby. Let's give it to Mary Cosby. That's the iconic person on the show. A runner up for iconic, Jen Shaw. You may not like the lady, but she definitely gave some moments, right? She gave some moments. Another iconic person, you may not like her, but she gave you moments. Monica Fowler, or whatever, Monica Darnell Fowler, Monica. Another person that no, she only gave one moment that people will say is iconic. The receipts, the timeline, that's all Heather has. Other than that, she ain't gave us nothing. But what is so iconic about Lisa? Please let me know what is so iconic about Lisa Barlow. Nothing. Orange Blossom says, I think Lisa deserves an apology because Justina and Whitney Rose were on Demon Tide that night. He was on some BS the minute he invited Jared. Okay, I'll give you that about Jared. But it's not like Justin went up to Lisa and said something to Lisa. Lisa said something to him. But I mean, okay, I'll give you that. D says, don't start stuttering, sir. Say her name. Say her name. If no one is around you, say Bronwyn. I love you. If you ain't running game, don't give me no Destiny's Child lyrics. But that is one of my favorite songs from that album. Actually, that is my no, it's not my favorite song. It's one of them. You know what? We'll give. I can't. I can't give Bronwyn anything just yet. But if Bronwyn sticks around, she's gonna be a force to be reckoned with. I will definitely say that she'll be a force to be reckoned with because she's a great housewife. Whoever cast Bronwyn, kudos to you. You need a raise. Orange Blossom says Lisa isn't iconic, but I do like her. The only people I would say are iconic is exactly the first name. It just pains me to say that name. Oh, it pains me to say her name, Jen Shaw. It pains me to say that name. But Mary Cosby, that lady has given. D says Lisa's only entertaining when she's crashing out, to be honest. Most of the time, all she does is whine, cry, and play victim. Snooze. Exactly. That's all she does is play victim. But the fans have made Lisa this iconic person. I'm like, y'all are tripping. Y'all are tripping. I would say Meredith is iconic before I would Lisa. Because Meredith don't season one, we gave it to Meredith for disengaging. But that wasn't enough. But yeah, you guys, that was the episode of Salt Lake City. Thank you guys so much for rocking with me at 9 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock Eastern and Central time, because it's almost 10:30 here, and I know it's almost 11:30 East Coast time. I appreciate you guys so much for rocking with me. I got to get off of here and go and take this medication for this muscle spasm that I got so I can go to sleep tonight and be ready for work. And I will catch you guys later. So I will be on time tomorrow for the Real Housewives of Orange County's reunion. I have not watched it yet. I'm going to wait for it to be put up on Peacock so I can hear the cussing, because I love hearing the uncensored reunions. It just does something to my spirit. It just does something to my spirit, you guys. But yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. So as always, you guys, stay safe out there, you guys. For real. I mean this when I say it. Stay safe out there in these streets, you guys. It's going to be a crazy, crazy time going forward. But we will undoubtedly get through it. Be blessed, you guys. And I will see you guys in the next video, you guys. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your night. Bye, guys. See you next time, Orange Blossom.